with chocolate syrup.
At just 13 years old, Adalia Rose is an internet superstar with millions of followers and viewers on YouTube. Adalia was born with a very rare genetic disease called progeria that only affects about 1 in every 4 million births worldwide. Adalia was diagnosed with progeria at just 3 months old, making her age 8 times faster than a healthy person. The young diva from Texas has warmed the hearts of her followers with her dancing tutorials and her infectious personality. Progeria was first discovered in the year 1886 by Dr. Jonathan and Dr. Hastings Guilford. This disorder is caused by a mutation of a gene called lamin A, which forms progerin and makes cells unstable.
We don't have a lot of hair. We have a lot of problems with our bones and stuff, just like old people. We can't do some stuff because we aren't strong enough.
Progeria is characterized by lack of body fats, loss of hair, visible veins, slow growth, and abnormal facial features. Most children with progeria do not live past the age of 13. However, Tiffany Wedekind has beaten the record at 41 years old, making her the oldest person living with progeria.
The fact that I am so little, some people in the world think that they can take advantage of me. I'll have my moment of sadness, but I bounce back from that. Resilience is definitely a strength of mine.
Rahatv, Rahatv TV. At 11 years old, Hanamka started to notice she was growing facial hair. The 29-year-old from the United Kingdom was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome, which makes her to grow excessive hair on her face.
Being bullied horrendously, so I thought, well, you've lived by removing it and you were suicidal and you wanted to kill yourself because you hated your body that much. And then I kept my facial hair, and then it was like, well, why don't you learn to accept yourself and love yourself for who you are and what your body is trying to, the way that your body is trying to form.
Hanam has entered the Guinness Book of World Record as the youngest female with a full beard. She admits it took time to overcome bullying and suicidal thoughts and finally become an icon for body positivity.
Yeah, I mean, I still get bullied, and I know that being a bearded lady, I will still get bullied, and I will face such negativity in my life, but the difference is from now, back then, is I know how to handle it, and I know that I'm way more empowered now than I was back then, in my younger years, to actually...
For Rahatv TV, I'm Rahatv Combination. Hello guys, thank you for clicking on this video. If it's your first time here, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell because you don't want to miss the next video. Now, media personality Betty Kello is eyeing Nairobi Women Representative seat come 2022. Betty's ambitions in politics was made public by a businessman, Alinur Mohammed, who is also an aspiring candidate for 2022 Kamukunji seat. This announcement was made during the finals of the Alinur Super Cup at California Ward in Kamukunji constituency. Alinur Mohammed and Betty Kello have been rumored to be in a relationship, but Alinur dismissed the allegations. The friendship between the two is now at its peak and has really triggered a lot of speculations after posting delightful dates and colorful photos online. My name is Rahatv Combination. See you on the next video. Boseman was born on the 29th of November in 1977 in Anderson, South Carolina in the United States. His mother was a nurse while his father worked at a textile factory at the time. Before gaining ambition in filming, Boseman loved to draw and wanted to be an architect. The famous superhero Black Panther character started acting in the year 2003 when he landed a TV series role, All My Children. Boseman studied at Howard University and graduated during this period. He extended an Oxford University summer theatre together with some of his classmates. Boseman had a role in the television series Lincoln Heights and Persons Unknown between the year 2008 and 2010. His other works include Get Up On, The Express, Draft Day, Civil War, and the renowned Black Panther, among many others. Chadwick was diagnosed with colon cancer in the year 2016, but had a fighting spirit. He continued his filming career and battled cancer at the same time. On the 28th of August the year 2020, the hero succumbed at the age of 43 at his home in Los Angeles, California in the United States. The news of his demise came as a shock to his fans.
You would rather find purpose than a job or career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose.
Boseman is survived by his wife, Taylor Simon Ledward. He was a cheerful man who loved engaging with his fans. Rest in peace, Boseman. Rest in peace, King T'Challa. Rahatv Adhiambo, Raha TV. Omari Latif Chadwick is a 46-year-old African-American from Savannah, Georgia in the United States. His parents are Mr. and Mrs. Clifford Chadwick. His father has worked as an attorney for quite some time. Within a span of 3 years, Chadwick lost 3 special people in his life that almost shattered him. That is his first son, his sister Shani Chadwick at just 33 years old, and his brother Malik Chadwick at 45 years old. Omari Chadwick attended Marist School in Brookhaven, Georgia, and excelled in sports that landed him a football scholarship for University of Georgia. The member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity pursued a career in football after his graduation, targeting to join San Diego Chargers. He wasn't selected for that, so he returned to acting. Chadwick has had some of his low moments apart from losing his family. He did odd jobs in order to pay for his acting classes and even lived in a car because he couldn't afford his rent. In the year 2003, he finally got a break when he landed a role in a TV series Saka Free City. In the year 2008, he featured in a TV series 7 Dark Blue. He also played a role in For Colored Girls, Big Mary Jane, Sorry to Bother You, among many others. Chadwick is a musician and has also written several poems. He is most known for his role as James St. Patrick alias Ghost on the Starz crime drama thriller Power. In the year 2017, Chadwick was nominated as the Best Actor for BET Awards. The Power stars gradually emerged as one of the Hollywood's hottest leading men due to his strong performances. In the year 2012, Chadwick married Jennifer Fauch in Kansas City after dating her for 3 years. Omari has always been quick to come to his wife's defense as she always faces a lot of cyberbullying because of her looks. The two are blessed with 2 children, Nova and Brave, 7 and 5 years old respectively. The American actor currently lives in Los Angeles, California and has a net worth of $5 million. Olurotimi Akinosho, also known as Andre, is 31 years old and both the parents are Nigerians. Rotimi is an R&B singer, artist and a spokesperson. The star is in a relationship with the Tanzanian musician Vanessa Mdee and has a net worth of $5 million. Lala Anthony alias Lakesha Grant was born in Brooklyn, New York. The TV personality is currently 39 years old and has a net worth of $9 million. The alumni of Howard University is a businesswoman and an author. Her parents are both of Puerto Rican heritage. Lala got engaged to Camilo Anthony, a basketball player, in 2004, had a son in 2007, and got married in 2010 before 320 guests. Michael Rainey Jr., famously known as Tariq James St. Patrick, was born in Louisville, Kentucky and raised on the Staten Island in New York. The 20-year-old Jamaican-American actor studied his career on the public broadcasting service show Sesame Street and did commercials and music videos. Michael was in a relationship with the 20-year-old Ugandan model and fashion influencer Eva Apio. He has a net worth of $1.2 million. James Jackson alias Kanan, commonly known as 50 Cent, is a rapper, TV producer, songwriter and an entrepreneur. The 45-year-old was born in South Jamaica and began selling drugs at the age of 12. James has 2 children with 2 different women and is in a relationship with Jamiro Haynes, also known as Cuban Link. Joseph Sikora alias Tommy Egan was born in Chicago and studied acting at Columbia University, where he earned his Bachelor of Arts in Theatre. The 44-year-old met her wife, who is a makeup artist, before he found fame. Not much is known about his wife because he's a private person. Sikora has a net worth of $3 million. Naturi Norton, also known as Tasha St. Patrick, is an American singer, actress and a songwriter. The 36-year-old broke up with Ben 3 months after their daughter Zori was born. Donshia Hopkins alias Serena St. Patrick was born in Brooklyn, New York in the United States. The 18-year-old singer and dancer is currently single. For more of these informative stories, subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell. I'm Rahatv Adhiambo. The holy ground of Godquero in Migori County was turned into a battlefield for close to 5 hours as the members of the Legio Maria and the police engaged in a clash that claimed the life of 8 faithfuls. Tension increased when members of a rival faction headed by Raphael Adika was confronted by a faction led by Lawrence Kalul when they tried to get in the church's headquarters for commemoration of the death of their founder. It is alleged that the faction led by Raphael Adika was intending to scatter the remains of the church's founder Melchior Ondeto to unknown location. Adika dismissed the claims. The antagonism between the two factions is dated back in the 90s after the death of Melchior Ondeto, leading to a bitter succession war. Rahatv, Rahatv TV. We all know there is no cure for HIV except for strict adherence to antiretroviral regimens that can only slow the virus progress and prevent some infections. We've had several testimonies from people who claim to be cured from HIV and even the failed treatment from Loliondo. Now, this lady Melody Ndichu, who is a gospel artist and a mother of 3 kids, gave a shocking testimony of having been cured from HIV after testing positive amidst pregnancy in the year 2004. She believes her cure is as a result of prayers and faith in God after getting stigmatized and her health deteriorated. Well, as at now, there is no cure for HIV scientifically, and research has been going on for years now to find the cure. If you'd like to get more of these stories, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. My name is Rahatv. In many countries, people have traditions they have followed for ages and don't hesitate to stick to them. However, in some parts of the world, the rituals performed for the wedding are just so strange and unusual. What would you do if you are told to cry every day for an hour for 30 days as a bride? Well, that is the life of Tujia people of China. The bride must cry for an hour a day for a whole month before the wedding. 10 days into the ritual, the bride's mother also joins in the crying. 10 days after that, the bride's grandmother also joins in the weeping until all the female members of the family also cry. This ritual is said to date back when the mother of a Zhao princess broke down in tears at her wedding. In Indah, China, a couple must dissect a chick and check the condition of its liver before they set a date for the wedding. If the liver is healthy, the wedding date can be set. If not, the wedding is suspended until they find a healthy liver. In parts of India, women born during a certain astrological period are presumed to be cursed and have bad luck. Therefore, they can cause premature death to their husband. Such women must undergo a kumviva ceremony by first marrying a tree to break this curse before the actual wedding. The tree is then cut down. In Mauritania, it is good to have an overweight wife since this is believed to bring prosperity. The bride is therefore fed by force to get fatter for the wedding. Some of them end up sick because of overfeeding. Spitting on someone is a symbol of hate and disgrace, but in Masai, Kenya, it is believed to bring good luck and fortune. The bride's head is shaved, then the bride's father spits on his daughter's head and breast before leaving with her new husband and doesn't look back for fear of turning into a stone. The couple doesn't sleep under one roof for the next 2 days after this ritual. A unique Swedish tradition dictates that kissing is not just between the bride and the groom. During some parts of the ceremony, the groom must disappear so that all unmarried men can kiss the bride. The groom also gets kissed by female guests. In Scotland, the bride and the groom are pelted with trash including rotten eggs and fish. If the couple withstand the nasty smell, then their marriage can withstand nearly everything. This is carried out to remove evil spirits. Also, no parents dictate the right time to marry in Scotland. So young couples who can't marry in the UK can elope to Gretna Green in Scotland, a safe place they can marry in haste. In Armenia, women eat salty bread to get prophetic dreams about the man they intend to marry. The one who brings them water is the one they marry. An old tradition in France dictates that a couple must drink and eat from a toilet bowl. After the reception, the guests would gather all the leftover food, drink, trash and dump them into a chamber pot. They would then take the toilet full of garbage to the couple's room and watch as the two eat. In Borneo, the couple do not leave their house or even go to the toilet for 3 whole days after their wedding. They are kept under tight security, and failure to observe this ritual, it is said to bring bad luck such as infidelity, death of their children or breakup of the marriage. In parts of Guinea, a man has to paint his body and wear feathers to impress women as an imitation of male birds. People from Kyrgyzstan believe that tears make for a happy marriage. Half of the marriages would include bride kidnappings. The kidnapping was made illegal in 1991, but before that, parents would consent for marriage for any girl who was kidnapped. In parts of Sudan, the marriage is not complete until the woman gives birth to 2 children, else the husband will seek for divorce. In Fiji, a man seeking a woman's hand in marriage has to bring a whale's tooth to the bride's father as a symbol of wealth and status in the society. The groom in Yuga culture in China must shoot his bride 3 times with an arrow before the wedding. It is a belief that this will lead to everlasting love between the two. Whereas weddings are meant to be happy occasions, couples in Congo are not allowed to smile before, during, or after the wedding ceremony. They cannot smile even in the wedding photographs. In South Korea, the groom removes his shoes, then his feet is tied with a rope. The guest and the family members then take turns to beat his feet using a stick or dried fish. This is obviously painful but is meant to test the strength of the groom. Other countries also have rituals that are not necessarily horrifying but very unusual. In Italy, a couple would attach logs to a fence at a bridge and throw away the keys to symbolize they are bound together forever. During slavery in the Black South of America, a couple would jump over a broom as they look forward to their new life. Men in Brazil also have to compete to win the woman's favor by giving extravagant gifts, hoping to be the chosen one. Now you can tell us in the comment section which of these rituals was the most strange to you and why. My name is Rahatv. I will be back with the next video.
Corona ni fake.
Baada ya mchezo wa paka na panya na maafisa wa polisi hapo jana, mbunge wa Kapsaret Oscar Sudi hatimaye amekamatwa. Mbunge huyo anayekabiliwa na mashtaka ya matamshi ya chuki amejisalimisha katika kituo cha polisi cha Langas mjini Eldoret baada ya juhudi za polisi kumkamata nyumbani kwake Kapsaret kugonga mwamba.
Ukianzia Junet ni mwizi wa NYS, ni mwizi wa Kemsa. Ukikuja Waiguru ule anawakilisha wa mama wote kwa wizi Kenya hii. Ameiba kila mahali.
Kamanda wa polisi Johnston Epara amesema Sudi ameleta utengano na kueneza uchochezi kinyume na sheria.
Nikasema hii corona ni fake. Wakakataa kusikia. Nikasema hii maneno wanatuambia lockdown. Ati muoshe mkono mkae nyumbani. Alafu wao wanajitayarisha kuiba pesa wa Kenya. Wamekula pesa ya malaria. Wamekula pesa ya TB. Wamekula pesa ya ukimwi. Sasa wamekula pesa ya corona. Na hii corona yenyewe ni fake.
Sudi atafikishwa kotini hapo kesho kujua hatima yake. Rahatv, runinga ya Raha. When Lizzie was 17 years old, she was dubbed the world's ugliest woman in a video posted on YouTube in 2006. Lizzie is the eldest of the 3 children born to Rita Velásquez and Guadalupe Velásquez. Born 4 weeks prematurely, she weighed less than 2 pounds. The doctor said she would not walk, talk, or have the ability to think since she was diagnosed with a rare congenital disease called mafenoid progeria lipodystrophy syndrome that prevents her from gaining weight no matter how much she eats. This resulted to bullying in her childhood and at one point had suicidal thoughts. The 31-year-old of American origin has never weighed more than 29 kilograms and has 0 body fat. Her condition has quite similar symptoms with progeria. When Lizzie turned 4 years old, she became blind in her right eye and also visually impaired in the left eye. However, her 2 siblings, Marina and Chris, were born normal. She has, however, beaten the odds by earning a degree in communication studies at Texas University. She is also an author, a motivational speaker, a YouTuber, and a prominent anti-bullying activist known by millions of people. The first book she wrote with her mother Rita was published in 2010 in English and Spanish, titled Lizzie Beautiful, that includes letters her mother wrote to her as a child. She also published other books, Choosing Happiness and Be Beautiful, Be You, where she shares her journey to discover what makes a person beautiful and tells readers to recognize their unique gifts and blessings. In the year 2017, she published a book titled Dare to Be Kind that is written gleaned from her first experience being bullied personally and online. In the year 2015, it was discovered that another woman, Abby Solomon from Austin, Texas, had a similar but a less severe variant of the condition. The same year, she hosted a social media challenge for bystander revolutions for National Bullying Prevention Month. Elizabeth Ann Velásquez is a Roman Catholic and says her faith has been her rock through everything. Rahatv, Raha TV.
Support a normal person, you know.
I cannot live like a normal person. I used to think that if I close my eyes, then I will die. In the old days, back then, I used to use like 10 cigarettes, 10 sticks a day, you see. So now I'm down to 3. 1 in the morning, 1 lunchtime, and 1 in the evening. All people using drugs are sick people. And they need to get treated. It's just that they do not accept themselves that they are sick.
It is 9 p.m. in Moi University main campus in Uasin Gishu County, 1 hour before the curfew. As some students rush to buy food, some rush to this club, famously known as F2 Lounge. Normally the club operates from 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. But because of COVID-19 restrictions, the time was adjusted. In the evening, this pathway is always flocked by students waiting for friends to buy them alcohol, or most of the time, you will find them with a glass of alcohol or cigarette in their hands at this entrance. A student can come here without a single cent, but still manage to get drunk. Generosity and sharing is embraced here, at least for each of them to get high, most of the time leading to full-blown addiction. Some hellblowns are squandered here to satisfy the urge for a high. For some students, this is a way of escaping a sad reality or just a way of having fun. But this does not just end at having fun. Murder and robbery have been plotted here. A number of students have been stabbed to death and some left nursing serious injuries. On March 2019, a night of fun turned tragic for Felix Oduoro Chieng, who was 3 weeks away from completing his degree course. Felix was stabbed to death in this club by a second-year student whom he had accused of stealing his phone prior to that incident. There have been cases of insecurity in Kenyan learning institutions, most of them linked to drug and substance abuse. On February 2015, the body of Charity Maina was discovered near one of the privately owned hostels where she was staying. She was raped and killed by a known assailant. In another incident, a third-year student succumbed under unclear circumstances. Some sources said he fought with a colleague after drinking at this club, while others said he was stabbed by a known assailant on the way to his room. On March 2019, a student at Jomo Kenyatta University of Science and Technology was stabbed by goons at a high point in Juja, leaving him nursing serious injuries, all attributed to drug and substance abuse. But as this disaster continues to spread across Kenyan institutions, a fourth-year student at Moi University has been struggling to get his life back on track. At barely 15 years old, Quincy got himself hooked in what seemed to be an exciting adventure. An adventure that would see its youthful life waste away.
Some of my friends introduced me while in first year of high school, and I got myself starting to use drugs, for example, marijuana, cigarettes. I have used hashish. That is a common drug with the name hashish. It's common in Mombasa area. I've also used these pills by the name we have Cospam. You have others, ecstasy.
From smoking one roll of bang, he turned out to be an expert, exploring from one drug to another, graduating from 1 stick of cigarette to 10 in a single day.
It's something that I did with a group. So we were like 5-6 people. So there was that sense of belonging in that group. Everybody felt that they needed to fit into the group. So if your friend is using, and you know the funny thing with marijuana is that when you have a circle and you're all using, then you say that it should pass you, people feel like you are a coward.
He tells me they are so affordable. Growing up in Mombasa, the hotspot of drug and substance abuse in Kenya, the drugs were always at his disposal.
Tunaona nyumbani kwetu mgokaa saa 4 imeingia. So watoto wadogo wa shule, kwanza hii time ya corona watu wako nyumbani. Watu wanachill. Ukianza unafeel kwamba hutaki kuacha. Ile kuacha tu ndio shida. Unafeel uko lonely, uko down.
His present condition can be traced to his family background that saw him venture into new experiments each day.
With my uncles using these drugs, my aunts using these drugs, them sending us to get those drugs for them, you see, it was now a leeway for us to use the drugs. Ukienda mara moja and you are able to get the drugs, so it means the next time you want it even for yourself, you can get it.
Soon he started on drugs that would give him a static adrenaline rush and did everything possible to satisfy his urge for a high.
Nimeuza nguo zangu. Ilifika point nimeanza kuuza saa. I used to buy watches like this because I sell them at Jumia. So nanunua ni yangu, lakini ikifika time nahitaji drug and I don't have anything, then I find myself selling it. I sold even my charger ya simu.
The 23-year-old admits the adverse effects he's had to deal with for the last 8 years, prompting him to seek help in a rehabilitation center.
Nilikuwa na blood infection kwa sababu ya cut. Unajua cut? Those things are handled by the hand, so they are really contaminated. I can forget masks, I can forget my spectacles, I can forget my books, I can forget classes. I had a mental problem, which is acute mental psychosis. I used to think that if I close my eyes, then I will die. So I didn't want to sleep.
Having completed his 2 weeks rehabilitation at Jocham Hospital in Mombasa, he has made a decision to change his life by abandoning his old ways. He now uses his free time to write stories that inspire people to change and help him stay distracted from drugs.
So I use this rosary to pray. Kwa sababu najaribu kuomba, najiombea mimi mwenyewe, naombea wazazi wangu, naombea hata wale mayouth ambao wanatumia na hawajaweza kujitoa.
He's reaching out to people in the same trap to help them explore their full potential and become productive members of the society. Most of the youths from Queen's home are on heroin, the drug being the mostly abused in the coastal region at 5.2%. It is smoked or sniffed depending on the user's preference. Sometimes it's injected using shared needles, leading to high prevalence rates of HIV among drug addicts, Bamburi being the most notorious place. A report issued last year by the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse indicated an increase of drug abuse among primary school children. At least 17% of the children abused drugs from as young as 4 years old. Pupils from Nyanza region taking the lead, tobacco being the mostly abused at 41.9%, prescription drugs at 27.8%, alcohol at 25.9%, and Mira at 23%. 7.2% of the children are on prescription drugs that are meant to treat mental illness. Unscrupulous traders sell them without prescription. 3.2% are using tobacco, 2.6% on alcohol, 2.3% on Mira and Moguka, 1.2% on inhalants and heroin, with Uasin Gishu County leading in alcohol abuse in schools by 7.5%, Kisii County 6.0%. Bang is more available around schools in Garissa, Isiolo and Makueni counties. Kisii County also led in tobacco abuse by 8%, Nairobi 7.7%, Kisumu 6.9%, with the sources of drugs being kiosks, shops, bars near schools, school workers, chemists, matatu touts and peddlers. Alcohol is more available around schools in Machakos and Elgeyo Marakwet, leading with 40%, followed closely by Kilifi at 36%. Children from Murang'a and Elgeyo Marakwet can also get easy access to tobacco around schools. Children keeping company of friends using drugs and those raised by drunkards are most likely to copy. Decline in academic performance and antisocial behavior such as crime and violence is most likely to be witnessed in these areas. This prompting the NACADA to give a plea for bars to be located 300 meters away from schools. As Kenya marks the International Day Against Drug Abuse on the 26th June last year, the Ministry of Interior and the NACADA called for multi-sectoral approach to intensify war against drug abuse, NHIF having spent 65 million shillings for rehabilitation in the last financial year. Rahab Adhiambo, Rahatv TV. Ivan Suchieng Owino, known by his stage name Prince Indah or Janabi, was born at Murumba village in Siaya County. He is the third child in a family of 5 children. Evans was raised by his parents Meshak Owino and Caroline Achieng in Huruma Estate, Nairobi. He attended Daima Primary School in Huruma up to class 3. Then his father died and had to transfer to Oloma Primary School, where he sat for his KCPE in 2018 and garnered 360 marks. In 2009, he joined Missions of Hope High School in Machakos County, but dropped out after the mother also died and had no one to support him. He then pursued manual work including mjengo to sustain himself in the city. After showing interest in music, his paternal uncle Emma Jalamo granted him a chance to join Ramogi Ohangla Rumba, where he keenly studied and mimicked Emma Jalamo's voice. He was then promoted to be the curtain raiser and the backup singer to Emma Jalamo. In September 2014, he recorded his first album with the main hit Cinderella. Since Emma Jalamo was considered king of Ohangla, he named himself Prince, the son of the king, and added to his local name Indah. In October 2016, he recorded his second album Tenda Wema. He then separated from Ramogi Ohangla Rumba and started his own band Malaika Ohangla Rumba. In November 2019, he launched his third album Kitabu Mar Hera and dropped a controversial hit Nyakisumo, which gained him massive fame. It is said that his songs can actually cure depression. Prince Indah respects Emma Jalamo as his mentor in music, and one of his dreams is to start Malaika Music Academy. He is married and has a daughter named after his late mother Caroline, as he sang in one of his hit songs Jaber Kinyuolo Nyako Tichak Minwa. His latest song Mama Watoto is now trending at 1.1 million views. Rahatv, Rahatv TV. Ever imagine that in this time and era, and with the fast growing technology, some people are not aware that cell phones, computers, or even cars exist? The Sentinelese, an uncontacted tribe living on the North Sentinel Island, one of the Andaman Islands in the Indian Ocean, have never had human contact for 60,000 years and violently reject contact and attack anyone who comes near. In the wake of tsunami in 2004, the Sentinelese were photographed firing arrows at a helicopter which was checking on their welfare. That is when they attracted international attention. These people have no immunity to diseases and can be easily wiped out, so the international lobbies uses public pressure to ensure their wish to remain uncontacted is respected. This is the most isolated tribe in the world. It is only imagined that they live in 3 small bands, in large communal huts and temporary shelters. The women wear fiber strings around their waists, necks and heads. The men also wear necklaces and headbands, but with a thicker waist belt. They also carry spears, bows and arrows, which they use for gathering, hunting and fishing. This extreme isolation makes this tribe very violent and unable to interact with outsiders. An American man, John Allen Chow, was killed by the Sentinelese in November 2018. 2 Indian fishermen were also killed when their boat broke loose and drifted onto the shore. The neighboring tribes of the Sentinelese were wiped out after British colonization on their highlands. They lacked immunity to common diseases like flu and measles, which can reduce the population and eventually make them extinct. In a rare occasion, the Sentinelese allowed the authorities to get close to hand over some coconuts to them. In the 1970s, the Indian authorities made an attempt to befriend the tribe. They left 2 pigs and a doll on the beach. The Sentinelese speared the pigs and buried them alongside with the doll. Sometimes they would make friendly gestures by accepting the gifts, but then fire arrows at the contact party. In 1991, there appeared to be a breakthrough when the officials brought them gifts, and for the first time, they approached without weapons. However, this friendly gesture did not last. Nobody knows why they became hostile again. It is guessed that maybe one of them died as a result of diseases contracted through these visitors, leading to more hostility. The Sentinelese are extremely healthy, and in several occasions, observers have spotted many children and pregnant women. Following a campaign by survival and local organizations, plans to contact the Sentinelese were aborted. Only periodic checks are made at a safe distance to ensure they appear well. The Indian government decided that no further attempt to contact this tribe will be made to ensure the survival of this uncontacted tribe. Rahatv, Rahatv TV. Albinism is a rare genetic disorder that is characterized by lack of melanin pigment in the skin, hair, and the eyes. Albinism only affects about 1 in every 20,000 people worldwide. People with albinism have been rejected and killed mostly in sub-Saharan communities because they are presumed to be cursed and bring bad luck. Despite all these challenges, Bera, a 25-year-old Georgian singer, has achieved so much regardless of being different. Bera developed musical talents at a young age, produced professional music at the age of 13 and recorded his first big hit in 2011. Having grown up in a diverse society, he speaks 5 languages: English, Russian, Georgian, French, and the language of spreading love. Being around his grandmother, who was a classical piano teacher, he acquired new skills that saw him establish his music career in Georgia and the United States. Bera has collaborated with Steve Aoki, who is a renowned DJ, and has received a lot of support from his father, who is the former Prime Minister of Georgia. Though he doesn't like being on the spotlight, people never fail to notice him on the streets. Most of the time, Bera is engaged writing poems and songs in the studio. He wasn't a confident child growing up, but has become an inspiration to his brother, who has the same condition, and a role model to people born different. Bera has a beautiful wife and 1 child, and is the founder of the Georgian record label and production studio. Remember to subscribe for more of these stories. I'm Rahatv Combination.
This is Citizen Weekend with Victoria Rubadiri.
Citizen TV's news anchor Victoria Rubadiri becomes the 6th journalist worldwide to win the Cum Laude Award. This makes her the 2nd journalist in Kenya to win the prestigious award after Citizen TV's Wahiga Mwaura. Victoria has been recognized for her passion in telling African stories that reverberate Kenya. The story Nairobi by Bike, which was aired in December 2019, gave an insight of how challenging it is for pedestrians and bikers to maneuver through the streets of Nairobi.
Practically every Nairobian is familiar with this scene. Endless lanes of cars and public service vehicles literally parked on the road. The fortunate ones are those that can quickly maneuver through this daily quagmire.
This made her outstanding. The Media Council of Kenya uploaded Victoria on their social media page for her great contribution to the industry. The Kenyan Investigative reporter has interviewed high-profile leaders and has done stories of positive impact to Africa.
You have won the BBC World News Cum Laude Award.
Oh my gosh.
Victoria is to attend a 3-month training at the British News Agency in London next year and will later join the BBC news teams. For Rahatv TV, I'm Rahatv Combination. It is 3 years since the government of Kenya declared the distribution of single-use plastics that are used for commercial and household packaging illegal, the material being regarded as environmental nuisance due to its non-biodegradable nature. On 28 August 2017, Professor Judy Wahungo, the former Minister for Environment and Forestry, imposed a ban that is termed the harshest in the world, with harsh penalties for defaulters, a maximum fine of 4 million Kenyan shillings or 2 years sentence to those found in possession. The ban that led to loss of jobs and livelihoods. The directive stirred emotions in many quarters as the ban affected 35 polythene manufacturing companies with a human capital close to 20,000 people and approximately 60,000 people depending on it directly or indirectly. Some manufacturers relocated to other countries, while some closed their businesses after years of investments as Kenyans resorted to biodegradable alternatives. After Kenya became among the few countries to impose the ban, acting as a benchmark to other countries, visible progress has been made in terms of implementation in towns that were dotted with plastic carrier bags due to poor waste management strategies. However, the ban may not be as effective as it was imagined. Kenyans have not fully complied with the ban. The plastic bags are still in circulation 3 years down the line. Since the ban took effect, the production of such bags locally came to an end, but they are still smuggled allegedly from the neighboring countries despite police presence at the borders and are sold in the country on a willing buyer, willing seller basis. Uganda mentioned as one of the countries that provide favorable opportunities to smugglers, the ban having flopped in Uganda twice. As we traverse Uasin Gishu County, it is very easy to spot plastic bags among vegetable and fruit vendors. As some comply without supervision, some are resistant to change, leading to serious enforcement problems. For most of them, it is pocket friendly.
Changamoto ninazokumbana nazo kutokana na karatasi zinazotumiwa kufunga mifugo ambazo mimi wenyewe uziuza. Mojawapo ni kaki. Karatasi yenyewe zinapatikana kwa bei ghali kulingana na karatasi za kitambo. We keep our camera rolling in this market for hours and secretly record as we engage the traders.
Nini mafuta ya kupima? Unauzaje?
Lita moja 160, lita moja.
The story is the same. No caution is taken while packaging. Thousands of people lost their jobs as soon as the ban took effect, but the markets are flooded by illegal polythene bags.
Karatasi hii inauzwa kulingana na kilo. Bei yao inaendelea kusonga. Mojawapo nusu kilo ilikuwa ni shilingi 140. Ikiwa karatasi lingine ya kitambo inapatikana kwa bei nafuu.
Enforcement agencies may be sleeping on their jobs. Most of the plastics ends up here, and some hang loosely on the trees due to lack of waste segregation culture among Kenyans. The reversible ban was meant to reduce daily heaps of waste, preserve the beauty of the environment, and save livestock. A study done by the environment watchdog NEMA in 2018 revealed that more than 50% of livestock ingested plastics as a result of pollution of ecosystems that ends up in our food chain. 4 kilograms of plastics was found in the rumen of one cow, causing bloating, depression, being weak, affect milk and beef production, and eventually slow and painful death. On 31st August 2020, global environmental lobby group Greenpeace made allegations that the American Chemistry Council was trying to persuade the US government to use Kenya-USA trade deal negotiations to extend its plastic business to Africa. NEMA Director General Borumamo said his agency will not rescind on plastic ban in Kenya and will not give in to any contentious request to lift the ban. Plastics are still in use in most low-income households in Kenya, especially in the slums where people use flying toilets. And unless everyone becomes responsible for the waste they generate, the plan that was necessitated to propel the country towards better environmental management in regards to plastic waste disposal could be far from being achieved. Rahatv Combination, Raha TV, in Uasin Gishu County.
Tukielekea mwaka wa 4 tangu shambulizi la kigaidi na wanamgambo Al-Shabaab katika chuo kikuu cha Garissa, waathiriwa bado wanajitahidi kusukuma gurudumu la maisha.
I came face to face with one of them.
Alishuti akamaliza, then akafunga mlango. I was just silent. Nikalala hold down hiyo breath.
Nilikuwa natakuwa na hasira sana because alikuwa na shoot everywhere around the rooms.
Ungana nami Rahatv Combination siku ya Ijumaa nikikuletea simulizi la wanafunzi walioponea shambulizi hilo wakiendelea na masomo katika chuo kikuu cha Moi. Na hii utapata tu kwenye runinga ya Raha.
Tukatuna wewe kwa nyumba mtoto wangu. Tukatuna wewe kwa nyumba yangu. Nitabaki ndani kwa nyumba yangu.
Kwa kawaida mtoto anapoondoka kwenda shuleni, mzazi hutarajia kwamba atarudi nyumbani. Lakini katika historia ya Kenya tangu mwaka wa 2015, usalama shuleni imekuwa ni bahati nasibu. Haya ndiyo yalikuwa taswira tarehe 3 Februari mwaka huu katika shule ya msingi ya Kakamega. Kati ya wanafunzi 3128, 14 walifariki kwenye mkanyagano uliotokea jioni hiyo. Simanzi ilisheheni nchi mzima, jamaa, wazazi na marafiki wakiomboleza.
Na jamii wake akaweka akawaambia muende. Lakini meli ikafika bahari ikaanguka.
Siku hii itabaki kumbukumbu kwa wazazi ambao waliobaki nazo ni picha tu za wanao. Duru ziliarifu kuwa walimu walikuwa mkutanoni, kwa hivyo hawakufuata utaratibu wa kutoka kama ilivyo ada. Mtaalamu wa ujenzi aliyezuru shule hiyo alisema shule imejengwa visivyo ikilinganishwa na idadi kubwa shuleni humo. Biwi la simanzi lilitanda kwenye uwanja wa Bukungu palipoandaliwa misa ya wafu. Mamia ya jamaa na marafiki walijumuika kutoa rambirambi zao kwa familia ya walioathirika. Baadaye mili ilisafirishwa kuzikwa maeneo tofauti, huku wanafunzi 3 wakizikwa eneo la Magharibi, kaunti ya Lurambi. Licha ya waziri wa elimu Profesa George Magoha kuahidi kwamba ripoti kamili kitatolewa kubaini chanzo cha ajali hiyo, sasa ametaka wazazi ambao hawajaridhishwa na ripoti iliyotolewa na mkurugenzi mkuu wa mashtaka ya umma inayosema hakuna wakulaumiwa wasahau yaliyopita.
Let's just find out the truth. And I shall not accept a speech where they are saying, well, the children were they were running, but they don't know what they were running from. That one I will not take.
Ilikuwa kilio na hasira katika shule ya wasichana ya Moi jijini Nairobi. Hii ndio ilikuwa hali kamili mwezi Septemba mwaka wa 2017 baada ya mkasa wa moto ulioteketeza wanafunzi 8 kati ya wanafunzi zaidi ya 300 wasiweze kutambulika. Zaidi ya manusura 50 walifikishwa hospitalini kwa matibabu ya dharura, huku miili hiyo ikisafirishwa kwenye hifadhi ya maiti ya Chiromo na baadaye kuzikwa maeneo tofauti. Ni picha ya kutamausha ya mabaki ya madarasa yaliyoporomoka katika shule ya msingi ya Precious Talent mtaani Ng'ando, eneo la Dagoretti. Mwezi Septemba mwaka 2019 mida ya saa 1:30 asubuhi, darasa liliporomoka na kusababisha maafa ya wanafunzi 7, 4 miongoni mwao wakiwa watahiniwa katika shule hii inayojulikana kuwakilisha matokeo mema katika mtihani wa kitaifa.
If the owners of this school had remained with a single story building, this accident should not have occurred.
Alikuwa akilalamika ati floor yao inayumba yumba. Alikuwa analalamika.
Sasa nilishinda hiyo mlio wa risasi ni nini?
Miaka 5 iliyopita, wanamgambo wa kundi haramu Al-Shabaab walitekeleza mauaji ya kinyama katika chuo kikuu cha Garissa na kuua watu 148, wengi wao wakiwa ni wanafunzi.
Some had their throats slit, some had their tongues sticking out. It was just a horrifying sight. He took the phone from her and told the lady that I'm going to kill your child right now, so now it's the last time you're going to hear a voice.
Agosti mwaka wa 2015, wanafunzi 7 wa St. Martin's Murang'a walioenda kuzuru mkoa wa Pwani walizama na kufariki wakiogelea Diani, kaunti ya Kwale. Miaka 4 iliyopita, wanafunzi 4 wa shule ya wasichana wa St. Mary's Nyamagwa walifariki kwenye ajali ya barabara wakisherehekea basi mpya ya shule kilomita 5 kutoka shuleni. Agosti mwaka wa 2018, wanafunzi 10 wa St. Gabriel Academy eneo la Mwingi walifariki kwenye ajali ya barabara. Wazazi wengi wakiwa na matumaini kwa mtoto kwamba siku za usoni atamtoa kwenye lindi la umaskini, hawaoni matunda yake kwani masomo yao yanakatizwa. Swali ni je, ni ajali ama ni utepetevu? Na ni nani wa kujukumika? Rahatv Jambo, runinga ya Raha. Mwezi Julai mwaka wa 2019, aliyekuwa gavana wa Kiambu Ferdinand Waititu alikamatwa na tume ya kupambana na ufisadi kwa kutoa zabuni ya thamani ya milioni 588. Hakimu wa mahakama kuu Mumbi Ngungi alitoa amri kuwa magavana wanaokabiliwa na kesi za ufisadi wasiendeleze shughuli za kaunti au kufika afisini mwao hadi kesi zao zitakapoamuliwa.
Lakini sasa ndio wamejua ati niko na manyumba. Hata kuna mambo ingine yangu mingi ambayo hawajui. Siku ingine mtu aniulize nitembeze nikuoneshe mali yangu. Nitaonesha, wengine watacommit suicide.
Mahakama ya rufaa pamoja na kiongozi wa mashtaka Nurdin Haji walikubaliana na uamuzi huo.
Those people that we have charged to step aside. They must step aside. And that is in the constitution and it's a right that we have to ask. We are not pleading.
Wakili wa Waititu Tom Ojienda alisema mahakama haina uwezo wa kumwondoa Waititu mamlakani. Waititu alikata rufaa mahakamani kupinga masharti yaliyopewa ya kutoingia afisini mwake. Wawakilishi wadi kwenye kaunti ya Kiambu walipitisha hoja ya kumwondoa Waititu kama gavana wa Kiambu, huku naibu gavana James Nyoro akichukua majukumu kama gavana. Wakati huo huo, gavana wa Samburu Moses Lenol Kulal alifikishwa mahakamani kujibu mashtaka yanayomkabili yakiwemo utumizi mbaya wa mamlaka, kufuja fedha za umma takriban shilingi milioni 85, kumiliki mali ya umma kwa kupokea malipo ya huduma kupitia kaunti yake na kukosa maadili ya kazi kwa kutoa huduma kupitia kampuni yake. Hakimu mkuu Douglas Ogoti aliamrisha Lenol Kulal asifike afisini ili asiharibu ushahidi inayopatikana afisini mwake hadi kesi yake itakapoamuliwa. Gavana wa Nairobi Mike Mbuvi Sonko alikuwa gavana wa 3 kutemwa nje ya ofisi na mahakama. Gavana huyo alikabiliwa na mashtaka ya uporaji wa mali ya umma, ukiukaji wa sheria katika utoaji wa kandarasi na utumizi mbaya wa mamlaka. Baada ya kulala kizimbani siku 5, mahakama ya ufisadi kupitia hakimu Douglas Ogoti ilimwachilia Sonko kwa dhamana.
Kwa niaba ya Masai wa Kenya waliokosewa, mimi kama kiongozi Nairobi napiga magoti. Naombea waziri Waititu msamaha. Kama Waititu walikosa, tunaomba msamaha.
Sonko alipokonywa cheti cha usafiri na kukatazwa kuzungumzia kesi yake kupitia mtandao ya kijamii. Agosti mwaka huu, gavana wa Migori Zachary Okoth Obado alipigwa marufuku na mahakama asifike afisini mwake ila andamwe na maafisa wa uchunguzi achukue vifaa vyake. Obado aliyekabiliwa na mashtaka ya ufujaji wa mali ya umma aliachiliwa kwa dhamana.
Zachary Okoth Obado, Dan Achola Okoth, Scarlett Susan Okoth, Jerry Zachary Okoth, Evelyn Adhiambo Zachary.
Seneta wa Migori Ochilo Ayako ametaka Obado ajiuzulu au atumuliwe na bunge la kaunti hadi kesi yake itakapotamatishwa. Naibu gavana Nelson Mahenge amekuwa kimya tangu achaguliwe miaka 7 iliyopita na sasa ijulikani kama ataweza kutekeleza majukumu ya gavana au la. Kiongozi wa mashtaka Nurdin Haji ameonekana kukaza kamba kupigana vita dhidi ya ufisadi na sasa Wakenya wanatarajia hata zaidi ya magavana kuchukuliwa hatua kali. Rahatv Adhiambo, runinga ya Raha. Every second, every minute, every hour and every day, there is something new you need to know about. Something that concern you as a viewer and a citizen of this nation.
Alishuti akamaliza and then akafunga mlango. I was just silent. Nikalala hold on hiyo prayer.
We keep an eye on events across the country and bring you the news as and when it happens.
Nilikuwa na hasira sana because I shoot everywhere around the rooms.
We cover stories that are not in your reach, behind the scenes that some assume don't matter,
Dogs can be accessed here from school.
and unpack the details of stories that touch our hearts. We fearlessly endeavor to unveil cutting-edge news, current affairs and compelling stories that affect you directly or indirectly.
From home I used to buy it at 30 bob. Bank ni 50 major.
Stay tuned as we bring you incisive, candid and authoritative stories like never before.
Kenyans have not fully complied with the ban. The plastic bags are still in circulation 3 years down the line.
Tell us what is happening where you are and get all the answers you need.
Karatasi yenyewe zinapatikana kwa bei ghali kulingana na karatasi za kitambo.
For we believe this journey of humble beginnings has only been possible courtesy of you, our esteemed viewers.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rahatv Combination, in case you have seen me for the very first time. Yeah, and also consider subscribing. Yeah, so today I'm doing a slightly different video from what I usually do. I want to tell you the major reason why you should consider starting a YouTube channel. Now, especially to Kenyans. Apart from just the video acting as remembrance, creating content, expressing creativity, that's an obvious thing. Now, the major reason that no one ever told me is that there is money on YouTube. How come no one ever mentioned this to me? In school, no one ever mentioned this. We just thought about working very hard in class, getting employed, of which the jobs are not even there in Kenya. There are no jobs. Even if I'm going to school right now, I'm not assured of getting a job. I don't know where I will end up. So that's why I'm making this video, to tell you guys there's money on YouTube. I'm not saying that I'm making money already, but at least I'm doing something that I'm sure about. In the next years, 2 years or so, at least I will have something as a plan B. So I think you also should consider this opportunity, guys. I wish I knew earlier. Please, if you're watching this video, don't regret like I'm regretting right now. I wish I started after Form 4. So if you are a Form 4 leaver, I think this is the best time for you now that nothing is going on and people are not going to school. I think this is the right opportunity for you to utilize. Being that it's also legal for you to have a phone. You won't have problems with your parents because they know you just finished Form 4 and you're just about to become an adult if you're not already. Yeah. So please guys, consider starting a YouTube channel. Many people won't be telling you this. Maybe I don't know whether I'm the one who grew up in a place where people didn't discuss these things. I just used to see people on YouTube. I just think they're just entertaining themselves. I didn't know there's a way they benefit from that financially. Yeah, some people earn even 100,000 in a month. I'm not saying you're going to earn that much. It's a step-by-step journey. Yeah, you will just grow gradually. You're also still struggling, but hey, let's struggle together, guys. Let's struggle together. You can just do any random videos. You can show us how to do makeup, how to cook. Provided you are good at this thing, show us. We'll just, when we find problems, let's say I want to edit a video, I will go to YouTube and search this guy is good at this. Now let me refer. Yeah. So please don't regret in the next 5 or 10 years like I'm regretting now. Start now. Start. You'll be safe, my friend. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and then consider subscribing. You can also leave a comment down below. Thank you so much. My name is Rahatv. See you next time. Bye.
Okay. Order. Okay. Thank you for coming. I wish to welcome you to Kiambu County headquarters. As you know, quite a number of things has been happening in this county, culminating into the arrest of the governor. And you all know what has been going on. I think the first thing is to wish the governor well, and we also hope that the judicial process is going to be fast and efficient, so that we don't delay justice. So we would want to reiterate that we wish the governor and all the other accused persons well, and that they'll get their justice. As you also know, today the court made a ruling, and among the things and the issues that the court talked about was whether or not the governor will continue to be in office. And we are here today because the court was very clear that the governor may not be allowed to come to the office, and therefore, as is provided for by the Constitution, that the deputy governor assumes the office and the responsibilities of that office. So we are here today again to reiterate that we came so that we can obey the court decision
and the court ruling. As you probably may have heard, we've just finished our first cabinet meeting where we deliberated on the current situation of the county and started to tee off some of the issues that we think will be grappling with over the next days, including the way forward for the county, and also one of the ways to ensure that we give our people confidence, because this county have been in the news for all the bad reasons. So we've just finished that cabinet meeting, and we'll continue tomorrow and the day after. We will continue with the meetings so that we all can be on the same state and we can agree on the way forward, just to make sure. And I would want to tell the people of Kiambu that all the programs, all the projects, all the services that are being provided and are required to be provided by the county will continue to be provided going forward. So there is no gap, there is no vacuum. We've deliberated that with the cabinet, and from tomorrow we will try and see some of the things that we can change. But right now is to assure the residents of Kiambu that the services, the programs, everything that has been going on will continue, and they will continue to enjoy the services of this great county. I also wish to thank the County Assembly for the role they have played and they will continue to play. I would wish at this moment to appeal to the County Assembly, from the Speaker to the members of the County Assembly, the honourable members of the County Assembly, to continue to support us so that we can work together. It is necessary that the executive and the Assembly work together for the purpose of the development of this county. So I want to plead with them and I want to appeal to them so that we continue to consult on issues that are bothering us, so that we can start to see some peace prevail within the county. We also have a big workforce. Our workforce of over 7,000 people is our greatest asset in this county. And we would want to assure them that all the things that pertain to them, including their salaries, the deductions that have been done, the delayed allowances, that we are going to look at them so that they can have the confidence in serving Kiambu County. We know that we want to, as much as possible, to have a humility in our service. So we want to urge our employees to support us, and wherever you are, whatever position you are holding today, we want to appeal to you so that you can do it with diligence and you can do it with efficiency, so that the credit will come not to the management but to the people of Kiambu and to the employees of Kiambu County. I'm aware, however, that we have some of the issues and challenges that will be facing us, particularly on the disagreements of the Division of Revenue bill, and as you are aware, that may affect and delay. But we will tackle these problems together with the COG and all the other counties. So issues that are very external to us, we will leave them out, but issues that are internal, and in terms of building the morality and ensuring that our people are able to serve, those issues we'll be able to tackle as we move forward. I think at that point I also want to reiterate that, and we have discussed it at the cabinet, that our key employees, the CECs, the CEOs, the directors, the senior people at the county, are the people that we are going to look upon so that we can be held responsible as we move forward. And we have all agreed that we are going to be extra careful going forward. We will look at the various ways through which we can start to raise additional revenue, but we also would want to stop loss of revenue, particularly at a time like now during the transition. A lot of things happen, and we have all agreed. We have all agreed with our CECs and our COs that nobody would do anything that would jeopardize the efficiency or the accountability and the transparency of their positions. I would also want to extend a hand, an olive branch to all the people who may have been offended in one way or the other. I think this is one county, is county number 1, and we would want over the next, I don't know how long, because as you are aware, we are in office for as long as the governor is away. If there is going to be appeal, if there is going to be a ruling on his case, we will be ready to vacate the seat and leave it to the governor if the court so dictates. So we are here to ensure that the county continues. So this is not a coup d'etat, as people may want to believe. And therefore we are asking for those people who may have felt probably aggrieved or probably their relatives elsewhere to come and join us so that we all work together for the benefit of the residents of this great county. I would also want to welcome our leaders, our members of parliament, our county leadership, including the senator and the women rep. We'll be doing some consultations so that all of us can start to work together. Independent of what your political inclination is, I think the most important thing for us is to ensure that we have complementarity in the projects that we are doing. So we would want to have the CDF working closely with the World Development Fund, which I think we would be discussing over the next couple of days of how to deal with that. So we'll be reaching out to our members of parliament and all the leaders in Kiambu so that we can start to think very, very seriously on the Big Four agenda for the president and see what the legacy of the president over the next couple of years is going to be like. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Cannot carry out all the functions of a governor. So we should look for a way to make sure that things like appointing new CECs, things like sacking new CECs cannot be done by a deputy governor. So we need to have a governor who will be executing all the functions of a governor, and the very best way is for Waitito to just resign from his position, or we impeach him in 30 days coming. Yes. Finally, I want to confirm that we have been moving a motion to impeach the County Assembly Speaker, Honorable the self-proclaimed Bishop, Honorable Disho, and I want to confirm that we have not withdrawn the motion. We only asked the clerk to give us time to do some amendments because we noticed that there are some things that we had left.
Because we have all the evidence, and very soon we are going also to take it there to the DCI, because what has happened to our governor should also be checked in all the other offices. So there is the issue of the contracts, there is the issue of our speaker, there is the issue of the Kasoba itself. It also has issues. So all that should be checked into.
Siasa tuache kando kidogo. Ningeomba yaliyokuwa pale katika manifesto yetu, tumpe huyu DG nafasi. Tumpe nafasi kidogo. Tuone kama kwamba yeye atatuelekeza kwenye tulikuwa tumepanga. Na hiyo tu ndio maombi yangu. Utakapokuwa ukiamua maneno zake, nimekuomba Bwana, wewe ufanye jambo yako ya siri ili kwamba hii maneno ikae hivyo hivyo tu. Na ni kwa jina la Yesu Kristo tumeomba.